Welcome to KCAL 9 News at 9, and we're streaming on CBSN Los Angeles. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Sarah Donchie. Washington dysfunction. Tonight, lawmakers are at an impasse over extending federal unemployment benefits.
And now millions of Americans are facing a financial precipice. KCAL 9's Tom Wade is live in the newsroom with the deadlines for unemployment benefits and evictions looming over millions of Americans. Tom?
Pat and Sarah, at this point, Republicans cannot reach an agreement within their own party on how to move forward. Democrats passed a bill back in May. Caught in the middle are millions of Americans who are facing very tough times. Millions of unemployed Americans are going into the weekend facing painful uncertainty. Will their federal jobless benefits be canceled?
It's going to be really very difficult for a lot of people.
Rose Puccio from Woodland Hills was laid off in March. She worked in sales for a luxury shoe company.
We need this money. I have a mortgage payment. I have a disabled nephew that I take care of. I could lose my house. I had to take out a loan as it was because EDD wasn't paying me. It took them 4 months.
Unless Congress and the White House make a deal, unemployed Americans will lose $600 in weekly checks at the end of the month. 30 million Americans could be impacted. Democrats are slamming Republicans for not reaching an agreement within their ranks.
The suffering starts in 2 days.
House Democrats passed a bill 2 months ago to extend the $600 payments through January, but Senate Republicans are still finalizing their proposal, which they say will prevent anyone from making more on unemployment than they did at work.
The administration has requested additional time to review the fine details.
Republicans are derelict in their duty.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi warned today there is no plan B.
Are you considering extending these benefits for a month or two while you continue to negotiate?
No. You understand? No.
What should people, people who are at home wondering how they're going to afford their groceries next week?
Meanwhile, the future is uncertain for more than 12 million households. A moratorium on evictions from federally assisted properties expires tomorrow. This is a huge problem during the pandemic. Nearly a third of American households missed housing payments at the start of the month. In Columbus, Ohio, a convention center was converted into an eviction court. The floor was also packed with lawyers offering free legal help.
We took $300 to the previous owners.
Denisha Morgan is one of the thousands facing eviction. She has 2 kids and stopped working during the pandemic, worried her Crohn's disease puts her at risk.
I feel sad. I'm about to cry now. It sucks. Most likely we'll get evicted.
Ohio is one of 28 states which does not have a statewide ban on evictions during COVID. Denisha was one of the lucky ones. She was granted rent relief. As many as 28 million Americans could be evicted in the coming months. About 1 million were evicted each year following the 2008 recession. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom granted local governments authority to halt renter evictions through September. In LA County, the Board of Supervisors voted to extend the moratorium on non-rent payment evictions through the end of this month. For those looking for work, the assistance is welcomed, but there is so much fear and doubt about what comes next.
And it's not like I'm not trying to find a job, but there is nothing out there. And also being of my age, people would rather hire somebody maybe a little bit younger and pay them a little bit less. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and people are going to be more desperate on what they need to do to make ends meet.
Republicans say they'll introduce their plan Monday, but the negotiations could take weeks, and if there's a lapse, Congress could authorize retroactive benefits. But as one lawmaker put it today, you can't eat retroactively. People need that money now. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Wade. Pat, back to you.
Wow.